others have given so much time for is also despicable and desecrates the memory of Martin Luther King. He didn't die for us to have the right to shoot each other and to terrorize our grandmothers. And we will be dealing with that as well. So tomorrow is the 47th anniversary. We are glad that the city is welcoming us to come. We hope that those that believe in the King dream and believe in what King said, not what others said, what he said, will join us at Dunbar, and then for the march down to King Monument. Martin III will be speaking, Mark Morial, Melanie Campbell, Cleora Brown, who has the A. Philip Randolph Institute, and A. Philip Randolph called that march in '63. Been jealous of the NAACP. We'll all be there, and we'll be holding up those that were there in the beginning. Reverend Walter Fauntroy, who is still with us. There was an old young radical then called Marion Barry. He's an old radical now. He's still late. He was late in '63. And he's late now. But let me thank all of you that have worked so hard, and I'll see you tomorrow at Dunbar High. Thank you.
We're going to have a couple of other folks speak because I think it's important, and it may take a while, but I think it's important that we understand that not often you can come to a city hall where the members are always on the same page about rights and justice and equality for everyone in this city and in this nation, and I'm proud to be on that kind of legislature. So I'm going to do a quick roll call of members who are here. Of course, the one that you talked about who rolled up prime time, camera time, you know, at that moment, Marion Barry. Give him a round of applause. To his left is one who has been an advocate and a champion for all kinds of causes, and quite frankly, some of the civil rights issues of the day and human rights issues of the day. That would be my good friend Phil Mendelssohn at large. Behind him to his left is his co-champion, one who has broken his own barriers in his own right, was the first openly gay member of the city council to serve and run citywide, and stood for not just one community, but all communities in the District of Columbia. And I want you to meet my friend David Catania, Councilman at large. And, you know, this guy here is like my brother. We say we got brothers from another mother. And one of the things I say about him, we had the privilege of having fathers who, quite frankly, showed us how we should be. And right across the street, you know, Ron Brown was a great guy. He ran that building next to us, and his son is doing great work on the issues that he's doing. And he chairs a committee that we really talk about what the King talked about, housing. How do we get housing for our residents? And that's the great and honorable Michael Brown. Mike Brown, thank you very much for being here. Someone said the real Michael Brown. I'm going to let y'all figure that out. All right. So, we also have a number of folks here that are with us. Azir from DC Vote. I want to tell him, raise your hand, sir. I want to tell you, thank him for what he has done to get out here, to make sure that statehood is here with us. Not only did he put it with his feet, he put it with his pocketbook. You know, because we don't have the kind of money those other folks got running shopping. But we got the kind of spirit, the soul, the energy, and the voice of the people in this country to make sure that our voices are not trampled on. So we want to thank you for being here. Also, we got the head of the Federation of Civic Associations, my good friend behind me, Robert Branham, who has done some things. We have members who are here. We have the Michael Brown, who is a senator from the District of Columbia. We have Bennett Fleming, who has been the youth convener of this and helping me get things done. And way in the back is Cornell. Cornell is our young guy who's keeping it going. Very sharp. He said we got to bring people along. And people don't understand that on that Everett, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the local folks. We have a lot of local folks who've done a number of things. We have the administration for folks. These been brought back from the past. Charlie Moreland, who was one of our first elected representatives, who was here. We have folks from so many organizations that DC, Democracy for DC is here, and other folks. And Reverend Sharpton, I know you have to say this. You got a man on the ground that keeps it going. And he's always in the background. Somehow he got politically correct, Chairman Gray, He got on the Dunbar High School hat. All right. So y'all pay attention to detail out here, huh? And that's my man, Revertoon, man. Revertoon is everywhere on the ground. Yeah. And for those of you who might have missed the history, you know, Dunbar was the school that made all of us.
Over the course of the next 5 years, that watershed moment, 47 years ago tomorrow, resulted in a package of public policies that ended government-sanctioned racial segregation in the 11 southern states of this nation with a Civil Rights Act the next year, signed by Lyndon Johnson and authorized by the Congress of the United States. It gave us a Voting Rights Act, the momentum from that movement. The next year, 1965, and it also gave us, by 1968, a fair housing bill for the whole nation. More than that, by the time of Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination on April the 4th, 1968, the nation and the world had embraced his vision that as a matter of public policy, we go on to end the barbarism of war in Vietnam, the decadence of racism, and the scourge of poverty in America and around the world. In 1963, we espoused the universal values of inclusion. That was our theme, including the rights of the residents of the District of Columbia to full self-determination and statehood.
With my brothers in solidarity. Women will be very, very prominent in March tomorrow. Our voices will be there. No one can get anything done without sisters, am I right?
Right!
We're going to be here, and we know that whatever's going on across the street, you know, in 1963 I was barely born. So it's about our young generation understanding our own history. It's about we the people, not us versus them. We're here in solidarity to fight for jobs, equal justice for all Americans. And I thank you, Reverend Chopper, for your leadership, and all my brothers and sisters for being here today. Thank you.
I think one of the things Reverend Sharpton has some things to do, but we want to make sure that the local folks here who are organized on the ground have a couple of things to say. And Melanie, you got good time. You called up one of our representative women on the council who carries on Councilwoman Yvette Alexander from Ward 7. So I want to acknowledge her. And saying that also, we have Mary Berry, a few words. Please come on up. We're going to have the members say something real quick.
Reclaim the green. Yeah. Reclaim the dream. Yeah. Reclaim the dream. Yeah. Reclaim the dream. Yeah. All right. No, for me, tomorrow is no history book lesson. For 1963, I was part of that young band of brothers and sisters in the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee with John Lewis as our chair, who came from the Deep South with a yield and a zeal for freedom, justice, and jobs and equality. I was in Knoxville, Tennessee at that time, at the University of Tennessee.
How about a big hand, first of all, for Councilmember Thomas for the great work he has done helping us coordinate this. Tomorrow, as you've heard a number of times, we are going to convene at 11 a.m. at Dunbar High School, the historic Dunbar High School, at New Jersey Avenue and N Street Northwest. Dunbar High School is the launching pad for so many African Americans who have become national leaders in America. The reality is we have had only 2 congressional delegates representing the District of Columbia, Reverend Walter Fauntroy and Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Dorton, and both of them are graduates of Dunbar High School. There are no less than 6 postage stamps that have been issued nationally recognizing people, African Americans, who are graduates of Dunbar High School in Washington, D.C. We are proud to be graduates of Dunbar High School, proud of the heritage, proud of the advocacy, proud of the movement that in many instances started out of Dunbar High School. So we're going to reconvene.